Pep's biggest secret to success on the pitch is what he does off it. See, the main reason Pep wins a lot isn't because he's got the best players or the best team. It's because he knows how to get the best out of each individual. He always wins with his great relationships. For Pep, his brand of football is unique. There's a common mistake that he plays tiki-taki football thanks to his early days at Barca. But the man himself came out to debunk all of that. I loathe all that passing for the sake of it, all of that tiki-taka. It's so much rubbish and has no purpose. You have to pass the ball with a clear intention, with the aim of making it into the opposition goal. It's not about passing for the sake of it. I hate tiki-taka. Don't believe what people say. Barca didn't do tiki-taka. It's completely made up. So what then is Pep's philosophy? Well, I'll let you hear it from the man himself. See guys, notice the one thing he kept on repeating above? Passing the ball. That's the key ingredient to how Pep sets his team out. He wants players to always want the ball. He hates it when they don't want it or get scared from it and hide in the game. Always playing with the ball to dominate opponents. Pep ensures they can't dictate the game's flow. Instead, he wants his team to control the tempo, often maintaining control of the game. A key reason for this is their high press to immediately win back possession when they lose the ball. However, Pep's tactics would be ineffective without the right players to execute them. He knows better than anyone that to get the best out of a player, he must understand the player himself. For years, the narrative was that Pep didn't know how to manage big names. In his first season as the new head coach of Barcelona, he allowed the club's star player Ronaldinho to leave to AC Milan for free, got into a public disagreement with Zlatan Ibrahimovic 2 years later, and sold him to AC Milan and swapped Samuel Eto'o for Zlatan a year before. But you see guys, the truth is, Pep's a genius when it comes to managing his players. In the Ronaldinho situation, for example, he knew firsthand that Ronaldinho was going to be a problem in the new setup he was trying to create. Not because of his talent, but because he had discipline issues and would rather party than take his game seriously. Pep was the coach of the Barcelona B team before he became head coach, and with the crop of talent he wanted to introduce into the first team, players like Lionel Messi, he didn't want them getting negatively influenced, so he let Ronaldinho leave for the greater good. It's no secret that Messi's the best player to have played under Pep. But all of that only happened because Pep took out a huge threat to his game. You see, Messi was suffering from junk food addiction early on in his career, and to help with that, Pep didn't give him any ultimatum or ban him from the first team. Instead, he had all the vending machines in the club's training areas removed so he could help with Messi's rehab. At Bayern Munich, it was the same thing too. After 3 successful years at the club, when it was time to leave in 2016, his words were that of a man who left a family behind. I'll miss them. I worked every day with them 24 hours a day with these players. I was always thinking of how to make them better, and yes, I will miss them. He understood the psychological aspects of the game and realized early that to get these players to perform, he needed to know them for who they were. When he got to City, it was a continuation of the same thing, and one of the best players under him at the club can testify to that. Taking that extra step to get to know his players better ultimately paid off because he has them playing like machines under him. See guys, Pep knows how to manage the different personalities in his team, and it's gone a long way in helping him create a proper core. Back when Phil Foden was still a youngster, Pep could have easily let him leave the club on loan, but once he realized the potential the kid had, he slowly integrated him into the team, and over the years, Foden has moved on from being that kid with a lot of potential to winning the league's Player of the Year award with City. Shows how much he's come. When it comes to dealing with more established stars, Pep handles it a bit differently. While he was still at Bayern, Pep will be the first to admit he got it wrong at the beginning, opting to use a false 9 and playing Robert Lewandowski out wide or in that reserved area. But credit to the man, he created a system that could accommodate his best players and at the same time suit his playing style. Last season, Louis' game did not just improve, but it completely changed. from a counter-attacking forward able to run onto the ball, dribble or play others into space. He now has better understanding of space, of the necessity of making space for others, of constant movement and playing one-touch football. He is stronger and bigger than he was at Borussia too. He is now a more intelligent forward, which is the way Guardiola changes his players. This was a Polish journalist named Michał Zachodny talking, evidence that Pep turned Lewandowski into more than just a goal-scoring machine. And at Manchester City, the development phase was all around. Think of players like John Stones he signed from Everton, a solid centre-back who he turned into one of the best holding midfielders in the league, capable of slotting in multiple positions, or Bernardo Silva, AS Monaco's chief operator out wide under Pep. He's dynamic and can cause chaos from anywhere on the field. To meet the Pep criteria, the standard's high. The first step is hitting that subscribe button to footballers down below, and once Pep acknowledges that, it's an even tougher challenge ahead. Pep is a perfectionist. He demands a lot from his players, both physically and mentally. It's a bit demanding at times, it's tough, but look at what he's done. He demands a lot every single day. If you don't live up to what he expects, you have a big problem. The player speaking here, Erling Haaland, Pep's goal-scoring monster at City. Quite simply, Pep doesn't quit. He pushes his players to become the best versions of themselves every day. And when he thinks they've reached that, he wants them to go even harder. His system involves the players trusting each other and working for each other, and to do this, they need to be in peak physical condition.
No, it's not ginger. He arrived with overweight.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. So why is he overweight?
I don't know. No, he didn't arrive in the condition to training session. That's why he cannot play. When he will be ready, he will play, but we need him.
The reason why last summer's signing from Leeds United, Calvin Phillips, didn't feature as much? Pep doesn't believe in the word star player. His only exception in the past has been Messi. Everyone else has to work hard and meet the standards, else they get dropped. In 2021-22, João Cancelo was being touted as one of the best fullbacks in the country. Half a season later, Pep sent him on loan to Bayern Munich and chose to play an 18-year-old Rico Lewis there. Why? The reason was simple. While Cancelo was great going forward, at times his gameplay was selfish and Pep didn't want that. Cancelo didn't seem to be improving, so he cut him off, no matter the result or the scoreline. For the best like Pep, it's never enough. The little things he sees in games always count. Over the years, Pep has had to adapt from that wizard back in 2008-2009 who introduced a sensational brand of football to this bold genius in 2024, still dominating Europe. Pep knows he's only as good as the players he's got. All the managers in the world, it doesn't matter how good you are, if your players don't understand what you are looking for or what you want, it makes no sense. Every season, Pep always tries to revitalize his team with new signings to give them fresh, dynamic options in key positions. It doesn't always mean they've worked. For example, at Barcelona, when he signed Zlatan Ibrahimovic in 2010, but sold him after just one season, or the lines of Sebastian Rode and Jan Kirchhoff at Bayern Munich. But the truth is, more often than not, he gets it right. At Bayern Munich, two of the best players at the club in recent years, Robert Lewandowski and Joshua Kimmich, were both signed by Pep to Bayern, and he made them world-class. He's been at City the longest, and that's where he's implemented his brand of football the most, especially with his new signings. Bernardo Silva, Leroy Sané, Rodri, Kyle Walker, Ruben Diaz, John Stones, Ilkay Gundogan, Jack Grealish, and Manuel Akanji, barring Leroy Sané, who left for Bayern in the summer of 2020, are all players signed by Pep who have gone on to form the core of his current City team. The squad depth at the club is amazing. So amazing that it sometimes makes the average fan forget just how much of a genius he is. 2020-21 and 2021-22, Pep City played without a recognized striker up top. He preferred to interchange multiple players in the position. Ilkay Gundogan had to go there, so did Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden. The results? back-to-back Premier League titles, a Champions League final, and a semi-final in the 2 seasons. Truth is, it's not as though Pep didn't know he needed a recognized option up top. He was waiting for the right one. And when he finally got his target, the wait was worth it. Erling Haaland's first season at City was incredible. 52 goals across all competitions for City, broke the record for the most goals in the league, was the top scorer in the Premier League and Champions League as City won a historic treble. Back-to-back hat-tricks in Premier League home games, Pep unlocked a cheat code, and I guess it's the reality. That's just what he does. His look and teams may have changed over the years, but his approach and core values have remained the same. Pep emphasizes a spirit of togetherness in his team with players willing to work for and trust each other. He knows his players for who they are, not just the men he puts out on the field, but the guys they are off it. Even got them to subscribe to Footballers 2 Can't Hate the Guy.